patriotism, faith, national unity, education, fiscal responsibility, civility, the values that define America. Fascinating stories and talks from America-loving patriots dedicated to preserving freedom, opportunity, and justice. Welcome to the Friends and Fellow Citizens podcast. Hello again, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of episode 110, Friends and Fellow Citizens. Hope you enjoyed part 1. If you haven't listened to it, check out the link down in the show notes below. Take a listen, and if you're in for the ride for the holiday trivia, this is the place to be. I am very, very excited to release a recording of my trivia with Maura Spence Carroll, who is our guest. She is former Miss Colorado, also a former intelligence analyst, currently serving in the Army Reserve, and is also a student and an advocate for mental health among the military and veterans. And so I'm very, very excited to share this recording. I decided to do something a little different. Much of this recording is unedited because I really want to show what it's like to play something like this. It's kind of hard to play some of these trivia games with an audio-only format, but I think this is a good opportunity to show you what it's like behind the scenes a little bit and get a sense of just the dynamic nature. Think of working with a guest like Maura, and I hope you enjoy this largely unedited recording of the 2022 holiday trivia. So sit back, relax, play along if you like, and enjoy the episode. We're going to now go into our trivia game, and I have no idea how good Maura is on trivia, and the fact that she hasn't given me any indication of that is really making me a little nervous about this.
Oh, don't worry, I'm terrible.
Well, she's saying that, of course. We'll let actions be the judge of that.
We shall see.
All right, so let's see, Maura, why don't you go first? And what we'll do, just as to wrap up, so for all those of you who are listening, be sure, if you want to obviously keep up with the trivia, maybe some of you are out there are good at trivia, a lot better than me, and if you want to tag along, but I obviously thought that given that this is the final interview episode of 2022 and we're in that holiday spirit, it's only fitting to have one of these. And we did a trivia last year and went pretty well. And I got stumped on those. Hopefully, I don't get stumped in the same way when I do my comprehensive exam for my doctoral degree.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Exactly. So, Maura, are you all set, or do you want to?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm all right. I don't know if you can see. I'm literally pulling up the questions I have. That's why my face keeps flashing with white light.
She might be coming guns blazing. It might not be a metaphor there. If I'm up against a soldier, I might not have a shot if I literally don't have any guns blazing here.
Oh, you'll be fine. I'm only a sharpshooter.
All right, Maura. Well, let's have you go first. Fire away.
Okay. This one is going to be a little bit of a softball for you.
Okay.
True or false? The song Jingle Bells was always intended to be a Christmas song.
God, is this a trick question?
It's a question. Answer it.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my guts based on the jingles and all that. I'm gonna say true for that.
Mm-hmm. It was written for Thanksgiving.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. I didn't know that. I only know the song. I didn't know I was supposed to know what holiday it was for.
Jingle bells are not inherently Christmas, but I will say they are definitely for winter. Thanksgiving falls in that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm 0 for 1 so far. It's okay. I can still come back from this, but boy, I was like, yeah, this sounds like a trick question. I don't know why, but anyway.
I mean, it kind of was, but
almost one semester of academia into this doctoral degree. I haven't gotten past the Jingle Bells question. All right, Maura. So here's my turn. So let's go and. All right, first one. So I've got 4 questions. We got 4 questions total. So Maura's got 3 more. I'll ask my first one. All of them are multiple choice except for one, because I kind of want to. Yeah. So, I mean, it's about chance. You got to take a chance, Maura. So,
yeah.
All right. So first question is, it is illegal to throw a snowball at a building or at someone else, including Santa Claus, I guess in this case, in which of the following cities? So with 3 choices, there's Aspen, Colorado, Jackson, Wyoming, or Bozeman, Montana.
Oh my gosh. I feel like I should know this because it's Western region.
Yeah. I thought I'd throw in some Colorado in there since we're talking to former Miss Colorado, right?
Jackson, Wyoming.
Yeah, where Grand Teton is, and we're not too far from Yellowstone.
Yeah. Is it Jackson?
Jackson, your final answer?
Yes.
It is not Jackson in Wyoming. The corrector is Aspen, Colorado.
No, I thought it was a trick question.
Gotcha.
That is not fair. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, I need to look up some Colorado trivia, and maybe there's something, because obviously throwing snowballs, that was a tradition. And I was like, I don't know. I mean, she might fall for it, she might not. So, but there you go. So don't throw snowballs. I mean, we all I can't believe we all have to remind Maura not to throw snowballs at a building for crying out loud.
I'll try not to, but just me and my wily snowball throwing ways.
I like how the law is like at a building or someone else, like as if those are the only two choices. People are either throwing snowballs at someone or at the building. And yeah, might have been an amendment to that law. Maybe it's initially just throwing at people and just
then there was property
moves.
Damage, and someone said we need to fix this right away.
Yeah, probably the insurance companies.
That does raise the question, is Santa a person or is he a mythical being? Or is he something else?
Well, metaphysics wasn't really my thing, but my political science theory will not help either. Oh boy, that's I took philosophy classes in college, and I thought it was kind of interesting, right? You learn about Plato and Socrates and all that. And I think the fact that none of them even tried to answer that question, Maura, I think that's
raises more.
That's a little ridiculous.
Socrates wouldn't even touch the issue. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
You need to take this Santa guy down.
Yeah. So I mean, it was an interesting class, but there was an allegory of the cave, which is like basically it's about like reality. Yeah. So I was like, man, there's people sitting in a cave that long and can't even dream about Santa Claus. Like that's maybe that's what happens if you're on the naughty list. You also get to stare at a wall in the cave there. All right, I digress quite a bit, from caves to snowballs to insurance companies. So, Maura, why don't you, since we're both 0 for 1, so it's okay. We still got 3 more. Okay. Why don't you fire away with your second question?
Awesome. In Japan, it's common for families to go to this fast food chain on Christmas. I know mine aren't multiple choice.
Okay. I think I'm trying to think of the international brand. I don't think it's going to be something like McDonald's or Burger King. I think it doesn't seem very festive enough. I think I'm trying to think of like a chain that's very American, like something that will kind of.
Would you say that McDonald's isn't American?
Well, McDonald's is American, but it's like, but it's like something.
Different kind of American.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's got a negative connotation. American, you know what I mean? Like when I was in the UK for 3 years, and I tell you, there's some people. you can't tell someone. I'm telling you right now, like if you're overseas and you're American, you tell someone you're going to McDonald's, you're going to get the stereotypes right away.
Oh,
And
no,
it's
I
like,
know.
I know, it's like maybe I just. It's not that I end up there. It's like I just want to go because I really want a McDonald's. It's not because I belong there. It's not the embassy or anything.
My parents are in Scotland right now house hunting because they're moving back to Scotland. And
wow. Oh, wow.
My stepdad, anytime he heard about like us wanting McDonald's or anything, he would make so much fun of us because he would go, "Oh, you Americans," and flip out. It was so funny.
Yeah, Americans like me. I'm pointing to myself. I'm guilty of association there with McDonald's there. But
you went off on a tangent. So okay, sorry.
We did. No, it's totally fine. So I'm gonna rule this out. I think it's got to be between. I don't think there's IHOP in Japan, so I'm gonna rule that. I've got a feeling it's like Denny's, so I'm gonna because Denny's is like the classic like Denny's diner experience.
You would put Denny's over Waffle House?
Uh-oh,
they're gonna run you out of Alabama.
This is the Texas coming out of Maura
a little
right
bit,
now.
Yeah. There is a Waffle House 10 minutes away from my house, and I don't go very often because I don't think that would be good for my cholesterol. But I love it so much. It is good. It's good comfort food. So Denny's final answer.
Denny's final answer, but I do think Waffle House is amazing. I forgot to, I can't believe I forgot to. I forgot who I was dealing with here.
Okay.
Denny's is my final answer.
Your answer is wrong. The answer is KFC.
What?
And I actually already knew about this. It's traditional for them to get like the big bucket of fried chicken and eat that on Christmas.
Oh, like because like turkey-ish, like the drumsticks and all. Okay, yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean they don't. That doesn't mean they stay away from Denny's though. They can go to KFC and Denny's. Maybe
correct.
Denny's to start the morning and then finish up with KFC.
Maybe Denny's just isn't as special as KFC is. Like KFC is like the only Christmas, and then Denny's is like monthly thing. So on a technicality, I can give you a half point for the implication that you might be onto something.
I'll be sure to mention that when I show up to customs in Tokyo. Just be like, by the way, I know about this KFC secret, not so secret that you all embark on. So, but then I'll get the typical typical American, talking about KFC.
Yeah, you flew all the way here just to eat KFC. Don't you have it back there?
I've heard about have you heard about the the variations of McDonald's and all that? That's always kind of a interesting.
Because like the different like menu items.
Right. Yeah.
Starbucks has like different menu items, and oh my gosh, what else? Yeah, everything has like different things. I guess that made sense in my brain.
I totally get it. No, don't worry about it. It's maybe you're thinking McDonald's and KFC and Waffle House. All I've already made Maura hungry once, or she's made me hungry once. So we're both guilty of that. All right, great. So, well, not so great for me because I'm 0 for 2, but we'll see. Maybe the tide will change depending on this question. So, Maura, you said you like Christmas a lot, so this could say a lot about how much you really love Christmas.
Oh, no.
Saint Nicholas, obviously the actual Saint Nicholas, the namesake of Santa Claus. Saint Nicholas was born in which modern day country? Russia, Turkey, or Greece?
Oh no. I know this one.
Well, we'll find out in a few seconds.
I'm such a bad half Catholic. Okay. I can explain that at a later date.
Okay.
Russia?
You said Russia?
Not final answer.
Not final answer. Okay.
Raise your eyebrow. Uh,
I didn't raise eyebrow. I'm just asking you if
yes, you
that's
did.
your
You
final
raised your
answer.
eyebrow. That was a micro expression. I saw
I
it.
could have been surprised that you got the correct answer if it is the correct answer.
No, this is different than this. Uh, okay, turkey. I guess I don't know.
Turkey?
Turkey.
Are you sure?
No, that's my answer.
That's your answer?
Yes.
You can change it. You can change it back to Russia.
Okay, I'll get. No, wait. Are you playing mind games on me?
I'm just asking you what your final answer is.
I don't know what my final answer is. I'm too competitive for these things.
Then it's gonna be hard for me to process what your final answer is.
I don't know what my final answer is.
Got to pick a final answer. It's only one: Russia, Turkey, or Greece.
Russia.
Russia. The answer is Turkey.
I knew it. That is not funny. That is so not fair.
Maybe your facial recognition skills are not as good as you would have thought.
Well, I changed my answer originally, and then you kept a stone cold face after that.
I would just ask you what your final answer is. That's I'm as neutral as Alice Trebek, in Jeopardy. just making sure, because we didn't want to have any technical issues or anything like that when you buzz in your answer. Okay, but you were. I will admit though, I would have said Russia if I didn't know the answer to this. In part, it's not just because my last name sounds Russian, but because I always kind of associate it. You think about the Russian Orthodox Church and all, and Ukraine obviously has certainly historically as also has the Orthodox Church, and there's the element of religion is still kind of playing into some degree. And I think some might argue that given in the current state of the Russian-Ukrainian war, I think there's obviously an element of talking about the associations between the Russian Orthodox Church and the Ukrainian Orthodox Church, and the kind of the schism
and also just the generalized Eastern Orthodox Church.
Yeah, exactly. So so St. Nicholas was born in modern Turkey. That's in no reference to the holiday we just celebrated, but but it's I mean, again, I didn't know the answer to this before, and so Maura, don't feel as frustrated as you already are at me, but then again, I'm just the innocent game show host of this.
Yes, I forgot the never influenced, very neutral.
Yep, exactly.
No stake in this. There's no reason that we should be competitive with each other right now.
I'm like Finland right now. So.
Oh yeah, exactly.
All right, great. So let's move on to your third question then. So we're both tied not for the best reason, but we're tied. So go ahead.
We can just cut out what our scores are and say that we tied at the end if we end up getting these right.
Okay.
Little trick. Okay. What is the nickname of the burglars that try to break into the McAllister's home?
Okay. I love Home Alone. So if you thought you were going to get me with this one, it's the Wet Bandits.
There we go. You have a point. You did it.
Without giving too much away, Wet Bandits, they would basically, well, if you haven't watched it, cut this part out or pause or fast forward.
The movie's been out for like 30 years.
Yes, it was released it was released in the decade I was born in, so people haven't had enough time to watch this movie.
There's been time.
Yeah, and if people haven't watched it or haven't it's a great reason to host people if family members who haven't watched the movie. That's like the way to reset your Christmas vacation plans.
I'll give people a big old spoiler warning. In Home Alone, the kid does end up at home all alone. And from there, it just gets crazier.
So much for it's not how you start, it's how you end.
Right?
Right. But yeah, Wet Bandits, because of Marv, one of the one of the antagonists, he would always leave. They would always leave the water on because maybe he had some sort of self satisfaction there of flooding the house. Kind of scorched earth sort of. I mean, not. It's. I inadvertently used like a military sort of term, like scorched earth, like General Sherman sort of. Sort of thinking, but yeah. So that's the Wet Bandits. But yeah, that was such a great movie, and it's like almost like every kid's dream to some degree. Like maybe not purposely being left alone in home, but just to like be like the main character, and it's just iconic. So
wow. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for my question. It's number 3.
Yep.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Okay.
So, all right. So let's do this one here. Okay. Number 3. Which of the following countries invented eggnog? Are you an eggnog fan or you?
I love eggnog.
Oh, okay. All right.
I can't say I love anything anymore because then it's going to keep being this thing where it's like you say you love Christmas, but you don't know where St. Nicholas, whom Santa is based on, is from. And it's going to be sad. But yeah, let's do the eggnog thing. Let's go.
Okay. All right. First, A, Germany, B, England, or C, France. So which one of those, which country invented eggnog? Or in another way, which country did eggnog originate from?
I'm trying to think very critically right now.
Think critically about eggnog. That's the way to go.
I know. There are sometimes things come out of my mouth that I never thought I would say in my lifetime. Right. Eggnog. Oh, God, you're going to have to cut out so much thinking. I'm going to go with first instinct, England.
England? You are correct. It is England.
Ooh, okay.
You mentioned cutting out thinking. I've already done that in my life. That's how I got to where I am now.
Yes, a PhD student famous for their not using their brains. What are you talking about?
Pretty much. I mean, with that's why we need a PhD degree, is to try and prove to people that we still have a brain after 4 years.
Brain, yeah. Don't worry, guys. They gave it back to me after I defended my research.
Yeah. It was held hostage by the dissertation committee. That's what really happens behind the scenes. Is basically brain surgery gone wrong in academia.
Yeah. But I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I think about, I love studying and I love reading and I love writing. And sometimes I think maybe I could just stay safe in academia for my entire life. And then I remember all the things that I've heard my friends who have gotten their master's degrees and PhDs had to do. And I think I'm perfectly fine with a maximum of 6 to 8 more years of school. Like, I'm okay with that.
Fair enough. Definitely for PhD programs, if you're definitely year 6, it's something, the school will be like, you've been here for a while.
Hey, are you gonna graduate yet? I'm actually doing research for you guys. You pay me, and then you're gonna give me a piece of paper that says I know what I'm talking about. Cool. I didn't even know we did that.
How about a pay increase to match up with inflation,
Hey, this doesn't match up with inflation in our area, though. But it's the national average. Be happy.
Yeah, I got a sneaky suspicion, especially since I'm studying University of Alabama. I got a sneaky suspicion that it's mainly because people want to keep watching Nick Saban coach the football team. That's the real reason.
I'm not a sports person. I'm a baseball gal, but football I still struggle to understand. The last meaningful thing I could say about football period was when Joe Burrow was still playing for LSU, because Texas, Louisiana, I have to cheer for LSU and A&M. And now I think he's with the Bengals.
Yep.
And that's as far as the knowledge goes. Oh my gosh, where is...
Yeah, Well, yeah, I mean, I remember, yeah, Burrow played against A&M in that big 74-72 victory. I'll never forget. And of course, Maura, coming from Texas, will appreciate me mentioning A&M, and as I did
Oh my
before.
gosh, yes.
So she gave me a gig 'em. Can you believe that?
Yeah, listen, the day that it's like the day that the lights went out in Georgia, the day that A&M beat Bama is to this day one of the best days.
I can't say that anymore.
Yes, you can.
Can't.
You're allowed to stay loyal. It's okay. We won't judge you.
Got a bit of a conflict when
Oh,
A&M was coming to play Alabama. There was a clear conflict of interest here. I'm just
So
kidding.
they had to keep you away from the game entirely because it was just not fair.
Exactly. Now the close results. That's a whole other story. But no, I really I still love A&M as an institution and all. So even though I am Roll Tide right now, but I still watch A&M games. Maura just doesn't know enough about my football practices. Not practices like me playing football, but just like my watching habits, I should say.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find this one really good question.
I think we're talking about all this stuff because Maura hasn't had her eggnog yet, so
Absolutely, I need to go out and get some.
Yes.
Now.
Okay.
I was supposed to have dinner with a friend tonight. She's sick, so now I get to go out and buy myself some eggnog for the night. Very exciting.
Exactly. All right. Well, we find ourselves tied, so it might come down to these final two questions. So, Maura, tell us about your final question.
This is a good one. Ready?
Yep.
What is the biggest Christmas gift ever given on record?
Biggest Christmas gift. I don't know why I just thought of this, but oh gosh, I remember when, gosh, I'm going to sound like such an American history buff when I say this, but when General Sherman captured Savannah, actually, you know what? That was Lincoln's birthday. That was not Christmas. So forget what I just said. That was. I just mentioned Lincoln's birthday. That's I just want everyone to know that Lincoln's birthday is coming up at some point between now and his birthday. So be sure to look out for that. All right. So lost my train of thought. So I'm thinking, okay, large gift. So that could be like a large statue. It could be like Alaska. Well, that was bought.
I don't think that one was a gift.
Oh, that was bought. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bought on Amazon. No.
Exactly.
bought by Amazon by William Seward in the 1860s. Yeah. Nice job, Sherman. Okay, so largest gift. There's so many gifts out there. Like, and I'm not like in general, but like large gifts. If I were, I think the statue later is probably given like for 4th of July. So, oh boy, I'm gonna say largest gift given on Christmas. Oh man, like now I gotta think of every single gift that's ever existed that's large, and it's like, boy, there's so many definitions of large.
Do you want a Hail Mary?
Sure.
I can tell you that it was gifted within the United States.
Within the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Lincoln? No, I'm just kidding.
The Lincoln Memorial.
Largest gift. Yeah. A memorial. I'm gonna say, is it?
I threw out the Lincoln Memorial as a joke.
Okay.
Just want to make that clear. That wasn't like a hint or a wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Hey, come on! You almost threw me off. I was on such a Lincoln track.
That's why I had to stop you before you sent in your final answer.
Maybe it's like another memorial.
Yeah, we just have Lincoln on the brain now.
Okay, I blanked out. I know it's probably not going to be the right answer, but because this program is kind of the namesake is Washington, so I'm gonna just gonna say somehow the Washington Monument was the tallest and the biggest Christmas gift ever.
Final answer?
Yep.
Okay, so what cracks me up is that you said the Statue of Liberty, which is the correct answer.
Oh,
and then you said, no, that's for the 4th of July. So it was technically a Christmas gift.
Oh, okay. Wow. Boy, you got me on this one, Maura. I gotta give props to you. And you didn't flinch, you didn't react, or at least I didn't see.
I tried so hard not to. My face is usually pretty expressive, so I have to, especially in serious situations, I have to stop myself from reacting because I will.
Okay. So you were you were cracking up this entire time, like from Statue of Liberty to when you reveal the answer.
Birthday.
I mean, Lincoln wasn't. Well, obviously, I wasn't off in terms of like the time, obviously, because Lincoln lived until 1865, and Statue of Liberty was.
I think it was gifted in the 1880s.
Right, Bartholdi, I believe, was the sculptor for that one, for the Statue of Liberty.
I'm googling when it was. I don't want to know how many steps are to the top. I want to know when it was gifted.
I was wondering, I mean, the elevator was invented in the 1850s, so it wouldn't, I mean, I don't know who was involved in the engineering and all that, but there's probably some guy that back then I was like, we could use an elevator for this. I'm not sure if there might be an elevator in there. I'm not, maybe like a work elevator, but.
I think there has to be, because there's no way everybody, or maybe, I don't know. I have to Google like I told you, my trivia game, Statue of Liberty elevator. Googled now. Yes, there is an elevator.
Is an elevator. If you had asked me if there was an elevator in the Statue of Liberty, I would have gotten this one.
I can't ask you an easy question like that.
It is a tough one. It could have been an escalator, It could have right.
There's just a pulley system, and you have to have the upper body strength to lift yourself up to the top.
I don't doubt your ability to do that, to your strength, your physical strength. So,
only one way to find out.
Okay. Let's move on to the next question, everybody.
Okay. Okay.
But no, that's I'll take the loss in that one. But next time I should probably stop. I felt like I ran through a stop sign there. Where probably should have stopped. So
we'll call it a California stop.
California stop. Oh, I know my share.
Slowed down. You thought about it and decided not to.
Yeah, and then you realize that those drivers are still thinking about it after driving off.
It haunts them.
Was that a stop sign, or was that just someone with an red octagon? All right, so my final question. So if Maura gets this right, then she has superiority over me for the rest of the history of the universe.
Oh, high stakes!
All right, I will give you a hint if you do request. In the song "The 12 Days of Christmas," how many gifts in total were given? If you were to take every single lyric, 12 Days of Christmas, all that.
Does that include the repetitions?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so when they say one thing, that'd be one, and the next verse is two, blah, 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 one, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Oh my God. Am I allowed to? No, I can't.
No calculators. Now, again, I can give you hints.
Don't. Okay. I feel like I'm not using a calculator
Okay.
I'm
Laura put her
I'm
hands up as if
yeah.
I'm doing a traffic stop or something.
No, I'm just, making a mental note. Okay. If it makes you feel any better, I'm a liberal arts major for a reason. Uh, I I would say I have a natural and also, worked upon. I've developed it aptitude for reading and writing and speaking. The same was not extended to my abilities when it comes to math, which is devastating.
Yeah, I was walking into my advanced math class in high school pretty confident, and then well, let's just say the numbers didn't add up when it came to the GPA.
Oh my gosh, it was my what was it? Geometry. Oh, my ethics book just fell. put my put my textbook away. It was my geometry class that ruined my love of math. Because growing up, I wanted to be an astrophysicist. Specifically, I wanted to work for NASA, and part of that was because my stepdad's coworker Stephanie was was an astrophysicist, and I thought she was the coolest person ever. I was desperate. I was like, I want to be just like her. Unfortunately, you have to be good at math to do physics because physics is just more math wearing a science suit, basically, as is the case of most sciences.
Yep.
That was the very tragic demise of a long held dream, was seventh grade.
Is that why you initially said you were reaching for the stars, and then like, oh, we'll just settle for the moon?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
You have to be realistic.
Yeah, it's well, as my physics teacher put it, physics is the study of everything. So that
Yes.
definitely clears things up, as science is
I
expected to do.
I there is something, and this is so nerdy of me to say, there is something so romantic about STEM that I don't know how to explain. Like the fact that I have never met, to be fair, I've never met a single person who, when they get into the higher level, like master's, PhD programs, who are immediately like naturally gifted, even if they have an aptitude for it. Every STEM major has to work for it to a certain extent. Um, and I think it's just so interesting and aspirational to be able to do that, to be able to constantly improve. It's so neat.
Exactly.
Don't pay
Yeah.
attention to the fact that I'm adding things right now.
Yeah, I should have. I didn't think there was going to be a lot of math into this, but
I know you tricked
and yet,
me.
yeah.
Okay.
I think if I were to, if you had asked for a hint, and maybe that window is closed, but it might have saved you some math skills and number skills.
No, I can't take the hint. That's not fit. That's not fair. It's too late now. 36. That's not my final answer. That's not my
Okay.
final answer. Now I have to just fill time so people aren't just listening to the sounds of me, again, doing math, which is not the most fun experience. Okay.
One of my favorite videos of all time. This is, and people, listeners, want to check this out. This is, I think his name was Arthur Benjamin, and he was called a mathemagician, and he could just add numbers really quick. I mean, it feels like, I mean, obviously it's a lot of, mental shortcuts and whatnot, but still, it's like you're just fascinated by how these people can add up all these numbers so quickly, and just using numbers as that canvas to almost paint a picture, or to describe something, or it just still fascinates me. It's I mean, in the realm of political science, you're always dealing with qualitative and quantitative things. Just how do you collect data, and there's a fascination on both sides. So while there is an inclination generally to do quantitative stuff, but it's even, I think it's even more amazing when you have the actual experts do the magic of, him like predicting, like he could, all you got to do is like tell him like the day, the month, and the year you're born. He could tell you what day of the week it was, that sort of thing. I mean,
That is
that's
terrifying.
yes.
I think imagine going to like a partner's business dinner or whatever, like a cocktail mingling, and you mention in passing, like, oh yeah, my birthday was last week, Thursday or whatever, and they go, you were born on a Sunday? Like, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. He even predicted you even said the day of the week in 1820, I believe was what he just asked for a challenge. He's like, "Hey, pick a date in the 1800s." And he also knew it was sunny as well that day.
Oh my gosh. That is
well, that's what he
crazy.
claimed. I mean, I'm not sure. I mean, sunny depends on where, right? I mean,
yeah.
He was in California at the time, and California wasn't even a state for another 30 years. So,
I'm struggling so hard on this math struggle bus right now. I
think Maura is just writing down all the gifts that she could possibly get.
You said no calculators. You didn't say no pen and paper.
That's true. That's true.
I'm very good at loopholes, if nothing else.
But even if you add up the numbers, I still think that you should have taken the hint, because it would have would have saved some pen and paper. First of all,
it might have, but then what's the honor in that?
It's a lot of honor in winning the trivia.
Listen, it's not just the fact of winning trivia. It is the way in which one wins the trivia. And I am choosing to do so the hard way, which I think is a metaphor for my entire life. But that's fine. Because I can be proud of this,
Absolutely.
Okay, my final answer is not ready yet.
It's not ready yet. Not ready yet is her final answer.
Wait.
No, just
my final answer is 364 gifts, a gift for every day.
You were absolutely correct, and that kind of encapsulates the Christmas spirit in a lot of ways. Which is, it's not necessarily just the number of gifts, but it's also the kind of that countdown to Christmas that I think we all kind of think about. So great job, Maura. So
Thank
2-1. I am very, very happy that you were able to get that number and get to that number, because I would not have been able to at this time in my life pull out a piece of paper and write down numbers. That is not what is expected of me. Yes. But great job, Maura, and that'll conclude our trivia. And I like to, before we wrap it up, there's this one sort of big tradition that we always do on Friends of Fellow Citizens, which is, as you may know, Maura, the show is called Friends of Fellow Citizens because named after the first 4 words of George Washington's farewell address. And he outlined really kind of some basic themes, or at least themes I plucked out of that speech. And the themes are patriotism, faith, national unity, education, fiscal responsibility, and civility. Maura, if you could pick one or more of those values and kind of tie in with some of the things that we discussed today, and certainly, serving our nation's armed forces can basically encapsulate all of them. But which one do you think stand out to you the most, and why you think that is?
I am going to pick 2, if that's not too much of a rocking the boat. But I feel as though faith and education are the 2 things that have kept me going throughout my, hard days, hardships. A big reason why I joined the military was also because it would pay for my education. And the thought of the fact that I was able to not only serve my country and potentially do some good, even no matter how big or small, and the fact that it was also helping me to pay for an education that would put me into a career that would allow me to help others is a major driving force for myself. And I also say faith because I'm a Christian, and I believe that God very strangely kept putting me exactly where I needed to be, because there is no reason why I should have made the decision to join the Army, but I did. Just kind of out of nowhere. I was like, I'm going to do that. I feel like I'm supposed to do that. I got stationed in Colorado, the one place I wanted to be stationed. I had leadership that wanted to support me in my goal of becoming Miss Colorado and going to Miss America. And I've had some hardships, and it is through faith and the belief that there is a greater future for me somewhere out there, and there's a greater purpose for me, as was designed for me by God, that has kept me going, even when I thought I couldn't. And I am eternally thankful for that, and thankful for the relationship I've developed with my God, and the ways that I'm able to serve not only my country, but him through just kindness and civil service.
That's wonderful, and obviously such a great tie-in with Christmas coming up, and not the 364 gifts you're gonna get. I'm just okay. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe you have 364 people who are in line, basically waiting to give you stat gifts. Although that'd be pretty astonishing.
I would be shocked. If anyone wants to send me a Costco membership, my address is.
I think I remember reading about that somewhere, when in the Bible, I'm pretty sure the Costco membership story.
It's, 3 wise men came, and they brought him frankincense, and they brought him gold, and they brought him a platinum Costco card, preloaded with a 5-year subscription or membership.
But what baby Jesus really wanted was an Amazon Prime subscription.
And that's why we have Epiphany. So they could come back with the Prime.
Right. I was gonna say, what does Christmas kind of mean to you? Generally speaking. I mean, as not just yourself as a Christian, but kind of how it kind of plays a role in your life.
I mean, I can't lie. A big aspect of it is that my sister loved Christmas. Like, it was her favorite. And as I've gotten older, I have developed a much deeper appreciation for the way that everything picks up around Christmas, but slows down at the same time. I joke that one reason I love Christmas so much now that I live in Colorado is because it's a coping mechanism for when it gets unbearably cold. But I also love the sense of warmth and community and joy that is spread during the Christmas season. And regardless of what holidays you personally celebrate or what reason it is that you gather together with family and are able to have a common celebration or a, commonality bringing you together, it's a time for us to reflect on what we have. And I love the kindness and the warmth and the family aspect of it. If we're going back to talking about found family, I love that I've had Christmases spent with my blood family. I've had Christmases spent with my friends when we weren't able to, leave Fort Carson for Christmas. I love people who have opened up their homes to me, such as the Bergerons and the Swift family, who really gave me a place to land and made me feel loved. And I love the fact that in the Christmas season, it feels like that's what everyone's trying to do, is just love one another.
Very well said. I couldn't have put it better. And I think that's why it is the most wonderful time of the year. I think there is a purpose of, in the midst of the eggnog and the gifts and the family time and the Christmas tree and trivia and all that, there is something very, very special, I think, that bonds every family. So, Maura, I just wanted to, before we wrap up, I want to say thank you so much for coming on to Friends and Fellow Citizens. I mean, we talked about your platform, and we did our trivia, which I'm sure I gave you a hard time at times, but you were not going to let that affect your
Let
victory.
The scratch paper show.
Yes,
I was gonna get the last one right.
I have no doubt that your platform, your story, and your motivation. You talked about your sister Kitty. I really think that this is going to propel you to so many great things in life, and your service to the nation. And just obviously last month we celebrated Veterans Day, which is always a great day to think about those who have served. And obviously we spoke a little about Christmas and the things that you care about. And it's, I think, just a wonderful way to give people that in spirit, spirit of the holidays. And I'm sure maybe Maura in the future will open up her like Christmas land. I'm sure it's gonna be absolutely huge.
Oh yeah, one of these days.
Probably includes a mountain range in Colorado. So
we'll just buy the mountain, turn it into the North Pole.
Exactly.
Well, there's already a place called the North Pole here that has a whole Christmas workshop thing here. So I guess I'll just have to take it over and redecorate more pink.
I have no doubt that could actually happen. Well, Maura, do you have any final remarks you want to make, and maybe just how people can learn a bit more about kind of your platform and maybe what you're going to be up to later on down the line?
Well, like I said, this is a quieter season for me. It's a season of building and planning. So I'm being a little bit more quiet these days, but if anyone wants to follow me on Instagram, you can, I guess. It's Maura, Maura.Ashling, Aisling. I know it doesn't make sense. It's an Irish name. And I guess my last message, since this is the last one, your last, interview on the podcast of the year, is to be good to one another. Wherever you are, wherever you're listening at, whatever you're going through, do good today for no reason. You don't need an excuse. I'm giving you permission to just do something that is kind and warm and spreads a little bit more warmth around our world in a time when it seems that we are a little bit more reluctant to.
Absolutely. Spread some holiday cheer, right? Spread some holiday cheer, hot cocoa, and the fireplace.
Eggnog and with rum in it.
Right. I'm still waiting for Maura to send me free eggnog or eggnog recipes. That's the only way to really celebrate is to ask more from Maura when I've already given her all this trouble the last 90 minutes. Maura, again, thank you so much, and I hope that you had a really great time and that everyone out there gets to celebrate the winter holidays and just relax with family, right?
Fingers crossed.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, I hope we brought some holiday cheer there with the trivia and just the casual conversation that we had with Maura Spence Carroll, and not to mention the interview that we did in part 1. I hope you enjoyed this 2-part episode. Once again, be sure to check out the links down in the show notes below. Get your Friends and Fellow Citizens mug, support the program. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. As always, they are incredibly special for the podcast. Have a great rest of your week. And remember, a day in America is always better when we are with our family, friends, and fellow citizens.